Hi everyone and welcome. Our focus now is to understand the function, role and responsibilities of an HLTA. So here we're going to be looking at what is an HLTA, why does this role exist and what do they do? Firstly, the HLTA position began in 2003 when the government undertook an overhaul of certain elements in schools. They recognised that some things weren't working and that teachers were overworked. So they brought in the nationally recognised status to progress in a career as a TA. Lots of TAs don't want to be teachers, they want to be TAs and want to be in the classroom with the students all the time. So the HLTA position was an option for them so that they didn't have to go into teaching. You can still make progress in a career as a TA without having to retrain as a teacher. There are 31 nationally recognised standards to meet, and they're to ensure that teaching staff are supported, that students with SEN specifically are supported also. So it helps teaching staff with workloads, but also helps our students with SEN get a little bit more support for their needs. Most of you will probably already be working as a TA, and you want to branch out and seek further responsibilities. Some of you may be using this as a stepping stone to become a fully qualified teacher, and that's fantastic. But some of you may just be doing this so that you can be an HLTA and have something else to be working towards and some extra responsibilities. That's fantastic too. So why the need for an HLTA role? Well, it allows you to take on that higher level when it comes to supporting students, contributing to school life and working alongside teaching staff. It really is a collaborative role. You're working with and alongside all of the other staff within a school to make sure that we're raising standards for children in schools, and especially those children that have got special educational needs who need that extra support. However, the HLTA role will differ from school to school. It completely depends on what your school needs and what they want from their staff and for their students, what students they have, and if there are any specific needs that students have. And it will also depend on what your areas of expertise are. So it's not the same cookie-cutter role for every single person. It's very specific to the individual, the school, and the children that they're working with. So as an HLTA, you're working in collaboration with all of the other school staff. You're also working in collaboration with any visiting professionals that may visit. That can be therapists or psychologists or anybody really that's coming in to support the students with any need they may have. So as an HLTA, you'll be planning and preparing lessons. These are not full lessons that a teacher may need to provide. You will not have to be delivering lessons as a teacher would. You're not a replacement for a teacher, you're a support to the teacher. So you may be planning and preparing lessons or interventions. You may be delivering these to students as well. These may be with individual students, it could be groups of students, or it could be a whole class, while a teacher takes out a group or an individual for some different work. So it's really about that collaborative working with the teacher in the classroom. You will also therefore be assessing students to make sure that they're making progress and gaining the attainment that they need to. And a very important part of that is reporting on that progress or attainment to the teaching staff. It's really important that everybody knows exactly where those children are on their journey so that you can put the right support in and they can have the right lessons aimed at their level. So aside from all the aspects required of you in lessons, you may also want to run extracurricular clubs for your students. And again, that will depend on your specific area of expertise. If you're an art specialist, for example, you may want to run an art club or maybe do some art therapy for students. And if you have a specialism in sports or keeping fit, you may like to run a club in that sort of area or focus on health with some of your students, again, depending on what their needs are. So an overview. Really, the HLTA role is a great stepping stone after you've done some TA work or before you want to go into teaching. It really does depend on what your school needs or wants and what your expertise is as to what your role would actually look like. But a lot of it will include planning lessons, delivering those lessons, assessing and reporting on students' progress, and maybe running any additional clubs that you would like for your students.